Greetings, my name is Chamomile and this is an exploration of the entire galaxy sector by sector. Today we're looking at Noonian Sector and the 9th Brazen Petard Command of the new territories of the Outer Rim. Under Republic tradition, Noonian Sector is the domain of the Erkit species of the planet Erkit, which you may know from Odi Mandrell if you're a fan of the Golden Age of pod racing. It's been a while since we've had a species wrapped primarily by a famous pod racer. During the Great Galactic Wars between the Republic and the Sith Empire, the planet Nunar was the official capital of the Nunar Confederacy, a neutral power and a buffer zone between the two galactic powers, but the Confederacy got absorbed into the Republic at some point during the Old Republic era, although records aren't clear on when. Noonian Sector is also the de facto home of the Fiorins and their colony world of Odrin. The true homeworld of the Fiorins is lost to time, but by the time of the Old Republic, their many different tribes were united by a Force-sensitive warrior named Feln, who later joined the Jedi Order and, according to rumor, became part of a secret Jedi organization called the Jedi Covenant. The Jedi Covenant were dedicated to hunting down the Sith and retrieving and safely storing their dark side artifacts, an organization founded after the Exar Kun War a few decades prior. At one point, the Jedi Covenant killed several of their own students on Taris after misinterpreting a Force vision and pinned the murders on Padawan Zane Carrick. After a year-long revenge quest, Carrick came to Odrin and confronted the Covenant in the hidden sanctum there, where they kept all their dark side artifacts. Feln got the upper hand of the struggle with Carrick, but when Carrick's friends arrived in the system, Feln resorted to detonating the entire sanctum, taking the dark side artifacts with him. The sector is also allegedly home to the Yirashu species of the planet Baskarn. The Yirashu are green-furred, Force-sensitive caveman aliens, and the stories go that they helped a secret rebel base fight off an Imperial attack. This sector was fully explored as far back as the Great Galactic Wars about halfway through the Old Republic era, so it's not clear why these green gorillas would have gone undiscovered all the way to the Imperial era. Another alleged species homeworld in Noonian Sector is Zongorlu, which was supposedly invaded by the Mandalorians during the Mandalorian Wars in the Old Republic era, but the whole event was so comical that I'm skeptical it even happened, or that the Zongorlu even exist. Besides the species homeworlds, there's a lot of interesting little planets out in Noonian Sector. Reverie is a planet bought up entirely by private estates for the super rich, famous for its mountains and beaches. A rebel scientist named Etha Naru defected to the Imperials and was posted to the fortress world of Tikath, where she was tracked down and killed by a rebel strike team that included her own daughter. During the High Republic era, the Horned Throne, planetary government of the minor world of Syntheti, once resolved a succession dispute between two rival claimants to the throne by hiring the Mandalorians and the Sun Guard, who were one of several groups that considered themselves rivals of the Mandalorians. And back in the height of the Republic, they had a more reasonable claim to that title than most. Despite being a fairly small and unimportant planet with a fairly small and unimportant succession dispute, one which both sides of the dispute expected to be resolved with a few weeks of intense skirmish warfare at most, the Mandalorians and the Sun Guard were evenly matched enough to drag the battle out, and as the conflict became a matter of honor between the two mercenary groups, it turned into a 3-year-long planetary war between them. Ord Sagat is a mining planet, originally one of the Republic's Ordnance Depot planets during the Pius Dea era, although not one that ever saw much use. This minor world is only notable because Dexter Jettster met Obi-Wan Kenobi there, when Obi-Wan was still a Padawan and he and his master Qui-Gon Jinn were there to investigate the disappearance of a mining ship, which Dexter and his criminal associates had stolen as part of their ongoing feud with the tyrannical Dinan Ardru Mutual, the corporation that ran the planet. Although originally sent to apprehend those responsible for stealing the ship, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon wound up exposing the abuses of power committed by Dinan Ardru instead, and Dexter and Obi-Wan were friends from then until Order 66. Mako Ta is a binary star system where Bodojef Shipyards built a shipyard for the construction of their light and medium freighters in the late Republic era. The shipyard was conveniently placed for delivering freighters to customers in the region, but the binary star system proved to be more unstable than it was worth, and Bodojef abandoned the station. After the Battle of Yavin, the Rebel Alliance relocated there temporarily while trying to find a more permanent hidden base. This is the base from which many of the early Outer Rim uprisings were coordinated, most notably the rebellion on Mon Cala. Death Squadron tracked the base down after a few months, but Rogue Squadron was able to get Alliance High Command away safely, if only by the skin of their teeth.